King Ray Ray in this bitch. Ah.
Chuck Diesel.
What's good, people? King Ray Ray back in the building again. Another hot chop ready for you. Let's give the people a few minutes to slide in the joint. Appreciate everybody being in the joint so far. Great topic for a great show, man. So, salute to everybody that's already on deck. Salute to Finesse King. Jorge, what's good, bro? R Banks 09, what up, cuz? Jarrell J, what up? Abdullah, what's happening, man? Neil Power, what up? Tayon Jackson, what up with you, man? Oreo, what's up, man? Oreo 3 Motivational, what's happening with you? Son Low, what up? C Rob, what up with you, man? Salute to you. AVP, what's good, man? We're going to give the people a few minutes to slide up in here, man. Go ahead and bang that thumbs up when you come through. Got a wonderful topic today, man. Top notch. Vaughn, what up, bro? Cool Gent, what up, man? 5 ways to know if she's a quality woman and worth your investment of time and energy. Hopefully there'll be, a few of the female persuasion in here, man, to take notes on this one because they really need to take notes. You see, you got a lot of cats out here that want to try to feed these women the idea that they can come however they are to a quality man. And that man has to take on the onus of overlooking all of her drama, of overlooking all of her baggage. But it's not hurting us. It's hurting the woman who doesn't have all of that baggage. Because if a woman doesn't have those issues, shouldn't she be held in higher regard than a woman who does? When it comes to the educational process, if you dropped out in 8th grade, shouldn't someone who has a master's degree been held in higher regard than you in the education process? We're talking about logic here. We're not talking about feelings. The bottom line is what we have in this society as men, why it seems like the pickings are so slim for us, is because every woman is put in the same boat now. It doesn't matter what a woman's qualifications are. And the crazy thing is the women who are more qualified are buying into the mindset that they should be equal with the women who haven't done things to further qualify or better qualify themselves. So the women who should be looking at everyone else saying, I'm above y'all, I'm better than y'all, I didn't do the things that y'all did, those are the women that are perpetuating this idea that all women should be considered equal. So there is no, in this particular society, there is no such thing as a low quality woman for all intents and purposes. But today, we're going to make a differentiation between the two. That's exactly what we're going to do. So let's give the people just one more minute to get in here, man, and we're going to go ahead and let it rock. So I appreciate all of y'all being in here right now, man. It's a wonderful, wonderful hump day. All right, let's get into it. Again, our topic for today is 5 ways to know if she's a quality woman and worth your investment of time and energy. Now, first of all, let's quantify what quality means. You see, because any woman can say she's a quality woman, just like any man can say he's a quality man. But let me tell you who determines your quality as far as relationships go. Every woman that you've ever been in a relationship with, they're the identifiers of your quality. They're the perpetuators of your quality. They're the ones who determine what your quality is in the context of a relationship. You can't do that as a man. The same thing with the woman. You can't quantify how much quality you have, how valuable you are in the context of a relationship and the constructs of a relationship until we have an opportunity to talk to the men that you've been in a relationship with. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The more people you've been in a relationship with, the less quality you have. Because if you've been in 5 relationships, that means 5 relationships failed. If you've been in 10, 10 failed. Hell, if I only been in 5 and you've been in 10, I got 5 more. My quality is 5 times better than it's twice as good as yours. I remember the Buffalo Bills of the, it had to be the early, had to be the either the 80s or 90s, the late 80s or early 90s, man. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, those guys. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost them all. So their quality as a Super Bowl contending team is not as high as it would have been if they had won at least one of those Super Bowls. They suck as a Super Bowl team. They're hell as a regular season and playoff team, but they suck as a Super Bowl team. So it's the same thing in a relationship. The people you've been in a relationship with determine how good you were in a relationship, how much quality you have in a relationship. That's why I say to you all the time, if a woman is talking to you about a man she's had in the past, tell her to call that man or shut up. If she's not going to call that man and let you talk to him, she needs to write down all of these things she's saying so you can call that man and ask him all of these questions and get his side of it. Otherwise, she's doing what anyone would do, making themselves seem high quality, even though you don't truly know if they were. So let's talk about 5 ways to know if she's a quality woman and worth your investment of time and energy. Marlon Brown, I appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. Guy C, I appreciate the $5 super chat. Now, the first thing is this. She hasn't been in a serious relationship for at least a year. Any woman who's rebounding out of a relationship, a serious relationship, she's not a quality woman. She's a damaged woman. She's a damaging woman. She's a woman who has been through emotional turmoil for however long they've been together. Some of these long-term relationships have been long years. She's not even emotionally stable at that point. That woman needs a break from relationships. She's not a quality woman. She needs a break from relationships. See, when we talk about quality, we're talking about strictly relationships here. She may be a wonderful woman in her career. She may be a wonderful mother. She may be a wonderful friend. She may be a wonderful tutor. She may be a wonderful guide for younger women. I'm talking about you within the constructs of a relationship. What's her quality there? So let me make that disclaimer. This topic is strictly about a woman's value in a relationship. That's it. So if she's been in a serious relationship within the past year, then she still has some emotional ties. So let me tell you something. I've met a woman who hated the man that she was in a relationship with, but that's an emotion. Those are emotional ties. See, you have to get out of that beta male mindset thinking that all you got to care about is if the woman still loves the man. You got to think about if the woman hates the man. Love and hate are both emotional ties to the previous man. So if a woman's been in a relationship within the past year, I can almost guarantee you she has some emotional ties. I mean, a serious relationship. A serious relationship is a relationship that lasted at least a year. So if she hadn't been out of that thing for a year, man, that's some emotional ties that you just don't want to deal with. See, let me tell you something you don't want to do. When you enter into a situation with the woman, you want to be able to just go ahead and build a relationship. You don't want to have to build her back up before you can build a relationship. It's not your job to build her back up. She got to go to God for that. She got to know how to beseech the Most High. She got to know how to rely on God to build herself back up. Her inner circle. Let God work through the people around her to build herself back up. You don't want to go into a relationship where you got to waste a year building a woman back up before you can even build a relationship. Because let me tell you what happens. If you got to build her from level 4 to level 5, that means that you got to stay on level 4 until she gets to level 5 if you're trying to build with her together. So you got to stay there, stagnant. That's what happens with men. You go into these relationships with these women who are not ready for a relationship, and then you have to stagnate your own life, and you stop growing, you stop grinding, you stop doing the things that you want to do in your life, and before you know it, you don't remember who you are because you've been stuck in that one spot for so long. And some men will even take a step back and go backwards. Some men will go from level 7 down to level 4 to help fix a woman to get her to level 5. Now, even when you get her to level 5, yes, you can find some sense of accomplishment in helping someone, but not at the expense of you dropping 2 levels in the process. So if she's been in a relationship, a serious relationship within the past year, maybe even 2 years, but I'm gonna say at least a year. She needs to have not been in a serious relationship for at least a year. These are one of the telltale signs you need to look for. You need to be totally aware of this. Never enter in any type of thing that, any type of meaningful situation with a woman who's just getting out of a serious relationship. Doesn't matter if she ended, doesn't matter if he ended it. Doesn't matter. Another thing is this. A quality woman doesn't have friends with benefits. See, friends with benefits is strictly a way to say that 2 people just have a sexual relationship with nothing else. That's what friends with benefits is. Because most times people who call themselves truly genuine friends don't end up being friends with benefits. They may cross that line once or so, but they don't end up being friends with benefits. A friends with benefits relationship starts off as a friends with benefits relationship. It starts off as a sexual relationship. And people just don't want to say, I got somebody I'm just having sex with. Women don't, men don't mind. But a woman don't want to say she got somebody that all she got them for in her life is to have sex. All they give her is sex. A woman don't want to tell you that. She feels cheap when she does that. It cheapens her value to herself. So a woman with friends with benefits doesn't value her body. She doesn't value her body enough to make a man put in work for it. I think a woman should make a man put in work for her body. If she's maintaining it, if she's preserving it. Now, if she's been with, 15 men, she don't have the right to make you wait. If she make you wait, then she think you're a sucker. After 15 men, it's too late to try to make somebody wait on that. It ain't worth waiting on. And this is just the reality of it. So a quality woman doesn't have friends with benefits. She doesn't have anybody. Let me tell you something about a true quality woman. She never allows her lust to get the best of her unless she is in the presence of a man that she wants to build a life with. An alpha man that she sees herself dying with, getting old and dying with. She want to bash children. She want to do everything. That woman may allow her lust to get the best of her, but she damn sure fights it. But no quality woman allows her lust to get the best of her to where she's willing to just have a strictly sexual relationship with someone. That's just not a quality woman. Not a woman you want to be in a relationship with. You want to be in a relationship with a woman like that because this is the thing. If she'll give that to someone else, why in the hell would you try to give her more? If she'll accept that from someone else, that's all she's worth. You're only worth what you'll accept. So if she'll accept that, she's worth that. It's the bottom line. Again, this is part 1 of a 2-part series, 5 ways to know if she's a quality woman and worth your investment of time or energy. And of course, I've got to do 5 ways to know if you're a quality man and worth a woman's investment of time and energy. I got to do both. Corey Robinson, I appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. So another thing is this. If she's the driver, whenever her friends go out and drinking will be involved, that's a quality woman. She has high quality. Now, I know you may say, well, man, what that got to do with her being a quality woman? She the driver with her friends and go out and drink it. For one thing, that means that if she does drink, she's not a heavy drinker. Most times, if she's the driver, when they go out for drinks, she doesn't drink. Another thing is this. These girls plan on getting wasted because they got a designated driver. You got to really trust somebody, and you got to really hold somebody in high regard to trust them with your life in a situation where you wouldn't even trust yourself with your life. So if her friends trust her to get them home safely, not take advantage of them, not allow anything to happen to them when they're wasted out of their minds, then they hold her in very high regard. So I'm not saying how she ranks within the rest of the women in the world, but within the circle of her friends, she's the best one of the bunch. So you got to look at things like this when it comes to quality woman. You can't look at it from a selfish perspective. You have to look at it from a character perspective. What kind of character does a woman have when she has to always have somebody else drive whenever she go out? She can't never drive when she go out because she knows she's going to get sloppy. Now contrast that to the woman who's always driving when her friends go out because they know she ain't going to get sloppy. They know she probably ain't going to drink. They know that she's going to be the one that can drive them all home safely. Value is value. You have to look at value from a character perspective before anything else. Because a beautiful woman, let me tell you something. The book of Proverbs says a fair woman who is without discretion is as a jewel of gold and a swine snout. A beautiful woman that has no wherewithal, that has no self-awareness, that has no common sense, that has no self-control, that has no self-respect is like a mud pie. It looks good when the little girl make it, but if you take a bite of it, it don't taste like no other pie you ever had. Tony Davis, salute, brother. Appreciate the $5 super chat. So you have to watch her behavior, listen to her, see how she interacts with people. See, before you think about even trying to build anything with a woman, you have to observe her for a period of time. You have to observe her for a period of time. And these are the things you need to be observing, things that matter, things that you think, not things that you feel. Another thing along those same lines, if she's the one, if her friends and family come to her for advice, motivation, or direction, she's a quality woman. She's a woman worth the investment of time and energy to get to know, because she has her head on right and the people around her know that. See, you have women who are one way when they're not around their family and friends, and then they turn into a totally different beast when they're around them. And then you have these women whose family and friends are one way when they're not around this woman, but then when they come around this woman, they're in the very best behavior. You find a younger woman who is sought for advice by her older sisters. That's a woman that you should be spending your time with. That's a woman that you should invest the time and energy to get to know, because that woman knows some things. And the people around her who are older and she'll be more experienced are aware of the fact that she's a good decision maker. These are the type of things you need to. We always complain about women making dumb decisions. So if older women around her rely on her, if her friends and family and relatives, everyone come and rely on her for advice, for guidance, for motivation, then that means that woman makes great decisions. And more than anything, what you want on your team is a woman who makes good decisions. You don't want a woman who makes terrible decisions all the time. That's a woman who will spend money she don't have to spend. That's a woman who will spend too much money when she go do anything. That's a woman who will overdo things when she knows she shouldn't overdo them. That's a woman who will probably end up overweight. That's probably a woman who will probably end up sick. That's a woman who will probably end up going to get a half education. What's a half education? A half education is a bachelor's degree. Any woman who stops at a bachelor's degree has a half education. Because there aren't many things you can get done with a bachelor's degree that have longevity, that have growth potential, that have infinite growth potential. There's just not many things. So if you're going to go get a student loan for a bachelor's degree, you might well at least get a master's. That's why I always tell you guys about women with 2 degrees. See what I'm saying? Now, another thing is this. We're talking about this from an alpha perspective. We're not talking about this from a perspective of men who get taken advantage of by women. We're not talking about this from a perspective of men who can't contain their energy and control the energy when they're around women. We're talking about this from an alpha perspective. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about this from a king perspective. Nothing else applies here. So another thing is this, man. And this is a big one for me, man. This is a big one. She still says yes, sir, and no, sir. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am to her parents. That's a big one for me. Like that one has never failed me, brothers. I'm gonna be honest with you. That one has never failed me. Whenever I have met a woman who still says yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, to her parents, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Now, I'm not saying all of them who say that are good girls, but she's a good girl. She really is. Y'all bear with me, man. I ate some baba ganoush. And I ain't lying, man. She got me burping, man. So y'all bear with me. Y'all gonna hear me do some burping in the joint, man. Y'all bear with me though. You know what I'm saying? We real in here though, man. This is what we do. Y'all baby glad I don't fire in the joint. You know what I'm saying? I try to at least have that more respect for the platform, man, for the panel, for the chat. But anyway, for me, I mean, I want you to beware of that one. Beware of that one, man. That represents a reverence that you need a woman to have for you. See, if you're a king, you need a woman to have a certain reverence for you. And if you can see her with that reverence for her parents, she's already used to that reverence. Not because they're her parents. You're saying, I know somebody's going to say, well, those are her parents, though. Why is she going to reverence? It's not about her parents. It's just her parents represent authority. She's not revering her parents just because they're her parents. She's revering her parents because they're the authority figures in her life. And if you become an authority figure in her life, she's going to revere you as well. I keep telling y'all, man, a husband, and when we say husband, we're not talking about legal marriage, but a husband is just a daddy for a grown woman. A husband is just a daddy for a grown woman. That's all. Another thing is this. And this is, we're not going to get into the discussion about dealing with women with a child or not. We're not going to get into that discussion. But if you do deal with a woman with a child, we'll let these other boys do all that talking about, the woman with the child, this and the woman with the child, that. We'll let them deal with that. I'm not going to get into that. There's enough content about that around already. But if she does have a child, she has a peaceful relationship with her child's father. Not a cordial relationship. Cordial just means that we want to tear each other down, but we don't. We do everything in our power not to do that. That's cordial. I'm talking about peaceful. Peace is based on understanding. So there's an understanding of the parameters of the relationship. She's a mother, he's a father. There's an understanding. There are no questions. There are no illogical calls. There are no calls taking place that shouldn't be taking place. There's no contact that should be going on. There's no flirting. There's no play flirting. There's no sexual innuendo or all of that. That's a peaceful relationship because peace is the opposite of confusion. Peace is the opposite of, I don't understand what's going on here. You dig what I'm saying? So if she has a peaceful relationship with a child's father, you know what that represents? That represents that he respects her. We ain't even talking about how she feel about it. It represents that he respects her and her right to move on. And he also respects her as a mother. See, he respects her all around if the relationship is peaceful. Women who have baby daddy drama, it's because their child's father doesn't respect them. If a man respects a woman, he treats her a certain way. You and I know this. I don't know how many women you've respected in your life, but we all know that when a man respects a woman, truly respects a woman, he treats her differently. We all want women we can respect. So when you come across one, you treat her with respect because they're far and few in between. As a Bazara, I appreciate the $20 super chat, bro. Appreciate it. Cool Heads Prevail. I appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. So for me, that's a big one because if you're going to deal with a woman with a child, and listen, man, I'm not the one going to tell you not to deal with a woman with a child. I'm not going to tell you that because I'm going to tell you like this. Let me tell you how we always have this oxymoronic outlook on things. I hear brothers always quoting that such and such percent of black women have children and a very small percent of black men have children. Like it's almost double, like double the amount of black women have children as black men. Okay, if all of those black women have children and you eliminate all the women with children, that means that all the black men gonna be posturing and politicking over a few women. That's why they cold approaching so much, because they're out here eliminating women because they may have one child. Fine, man. Listen, brothers can do what they want to do out here, man. Because we're not talking about any illegal marriage. We're not talking about any of that stuff. We're not talking about any stuff. Now, one is the limit. Now, I mean, if you're gonna do that, one is the limit. You understand? You don't want to go be with a woman. I mean, listen, bro. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, and this is just the reality of how my outlook. I just don't see how you, as a man, can view a woman with multiple children as a quality woman for you to be in a relationship with. I'm not saying she's a bad woman. I'm not saying she's a bad mother. I'm not saying she's a bad worker. I'm not saying she got her own business, she's a bad boss. I'm not saying she's a bad relative. I'm saying you as a man, I just don't see how you can view a woman with multiple children as a suitable counterpart for yourself. For you, for the man who doesn't have either of those children. Now, granted, I will say this. One of those men should view her like that. That's where the issue lies. The issue lies that if a woman has multiple children and neither of those men view her as a quality woman, that's a rabbit hole that we're not going to go down on this particular show. But you as a man cannot ever believe that your best option is a woman with multiple children and none of the children are yours. You just can't believe that. There's no way that I'm gonna perpetuate that idea. I'm just not gonna do it. Now, but we're talking about a woman who's a quality woman for you as a king. As an alpha male, that's what we're talking. We're not talking about just the average guy here. The average guy can go be with a woman with 5 kids by 6 men. That's cool. We're talking about the alpha man. We're talking about the sought after man. We're talking about the quality man. We're talking about the man who has the energy that women dream about. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the man who has his things together. That's what we're talking about here. That man should have a higher standard than the average man does. Corey Robinson, appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. Now, another thing is this. She will not allow you to have unprotected sex with her. I don't care how aroused she is. Now, on down the line, once y'all establish a relationship, yeah, that's something different. But I'm talking about in the beginning, man, listen, anyone who allows you to have unprotected sex with her, you shouldn't want to do it now. The onus of this is on you as well. But I'm talking about if a woman is willing, even if you don't do it, even if you almost do it, and you're about to get ready to push in, and then you strap up. If she's not going to stop you, if she's willing to allow you to have unprotected sex with her and she doesn't even know you, she's not a quality woman. She doesn't love herself enough for you to consider her a quality woman for you to be with. She simply doesn't love herself enough. See, this is the thing. If you're looking for a woman who's going to revere you, a woman who's going to, love your energy, a woman who's going to love what you bring to the table, a woman who's going to love how you make her feel, a woman can't love anything if she doesn't love herself first. A woman who doesn't love herself can't even love her child. A woman who doesn't love herself can't love at all. A woman who doesn't love herself doesn't love God. She doesn't love anyone. And a woman who will let you have unprotected sex with her and she doesn't even know you, man, that woman does not love herself. She does not love her life. She does not care about her health. She does not care if she lives or dies, because that one unprotected sex experience could kill her. And she doesn't even know you. You did? And that's the reality of it. She just won't allow that. She won't allow it. See, because this is what you have to understand. This is what we all have to keep in mind. Women who have multiple children by multiple men have a lot of unprotected sex. Obviously, they have a lot of unprotected sex. And you got to think about this. Not all of these are long-term relationships. So you got to be weary of, of a woman who's willingly has a lot of unprotected sex. That's dangerous, man. It's almost a suicide mission in today's society. So even if a woman doesn't have any children, because I'm not going to keep harping on the women with children. If a woman doesn't have any children and she's willing to let you have, I don't care how aroused she is, that woman has to have a sense of self-worth that trumps her arousal. And that's the reality of it, man. Now, and along that same vein, a quality woman doesn't have sex with you the first night. She just doesn't. She doesn't. Well, you know what? She does everything in her power not to have sex with you the first night. She'll lie and say she'll lie and say she on a cycle. She'll put on a pad just to prove, man, listen, bro, let me tell you something. I've had a woman, she told me this later on, of course. I've had a woman tell me, man, she was on her cycle, man, and she said, just in case I wanted proof, I didn't want proof. She said, because I was cool, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm the same way. I want a woman to know how much I value myself. I want a woman to know that my lust will never control me. So I don't want her to feel like I'm just gonna be all over her the first time I see her. I never am. You know what I'm saying? So, man, she told me that she wear the pad and put it on. She said she don't even wear pads. She said she wear the pad and put it on. And just in case I wanted to check, she have a puffy pad in her panties, bro. And I said, "Shawty, you went too far." You know what I'm saying? We had a good laugh about it, man. But she said that she was glad I wasn't that type of man anyway, because she would have looked at me some kind of way if I would have had to check to see. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Shawty, it wasn't no big deal to me. I wasn't gonna cut you the first night anyway." So, but anyway, she will do everything in her power. Now, on the chance that she does end up having unprotected sex, we're having sex with you the first night, not unprotected sex, but having sex with you the first night, she feels like complete shit after she does it. Like she'll try not to talk to you because she doesn't want you to think that she's like that. She'll feel so bad about it, man. Listen, bro, I have literally, now I'm not saying I ain't never knocked one on the first night. I'm saying I've learned from these experiences. But yeah, I have, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It literally, I didn't even talk to her no more, man. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't, I mean, I just didn't talk to her. You know what I'm saying? I called her a couple of days later, man, to make sure everything was good with her, man. And she wouldn't answer my call, bro. I think I tried maybe one more time, maybe 3 days later, even 3 more days after that, she wouldn't answer my call, man. And I never saw her again, man, till like 3 months later, bro. I just happened to see her out somewhere. I can't remember what I was doing, but I just happened to see her, man. And when I saw her, man, I wasn't gonna pay no attention to her, man. I was gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't gonna say nothing to her. And I tried to call you a couple of times. Shawty didn't answer my call. What I'm gonna talk to you for? Obviously, you don't want to talk to me, so I'm cool. So she ran up on me, man, and she said that she been thinking about me, man, how she missed me and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, shit, Shawty, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've had women miss me before. And I've never seen what missing a man means, that you don't answer his call when he calls. I'm just trying to check on you, Shawty, to make sure you're good, because I know, I know I broke you down pretty good. I was trying to make sure I ain't ruptured your spleen and then bruise your hip. And then, so, she laughed about it, man. She broke it down and told me, man, that she felt bad because she doesn't do that. And, she felt like I was a great man, and a man that she wanted to get to know and possibly build something with. And she just didn't want to start off with me viewing her like that. And, I was like, it was cool. Man, she was sitting there, man, eyes all wet and shit, man. Like she really, really felt bad about it. So I'm telling you that a woman who values herself does not believe in having sex on the first night, and she does not believe in having one night stands. That's why she doesn't have sex on the first night, because sex on the first night is really a one night stand. Young Manhood, what's good, brother? YMC, appreciate you being in the joint, bro. Appreciate the super chat. So, another thing is this, man. A quality woman doesn't want to lead you. I'm not saying she's not gonna. See, we're not talking about the woman that just come try to take over. We ain't talking about her. We're talking about a quality woman does not want to lead you. You know what I'm saying? She does not want to take control of the relationship. She don't want it. You can't give it to her. She just don't want it. You got women who will try to take it. She ain't gonna try to take it, but you can't give it to her. She don't want it. But by the same token, she don't feel like she should have to take care of a grown man either. She don't feel like she should have to take care of a grown man. You understand? Now, if you starting a business or something, man, and you trying to get something jumped off, that's something else. That's supporting you doing your thing. That's being on the team. I'm talking about taking care of a grown man, a lazy grown man, a grown man with no plan. A quality woman ain't gonna do that because it makes her feel masculine, and a quality woman don't like to feel masculine. She don't want to feel manly. She don't want to take on manly responsibilities. She don't want to feel like she the husband, you the wife. She don't want to feel like she should wear the boxer briefs and you should wear the panty drawers. She don't want to feel like she should wear the work boots and you should wear the stilettos. She don't want to feel like she should get a Caesar lined up and you should walk around with weave down to your butt. A quality woman does not want to reverse roles with you. She embraces her femininity. A quality woman does. See, there is no woman who is a feminist or even who represents feminism that you should want to be in a relationship with. No man, no masculine man should want to be in a relationship with a woman who is feminist or even represents that she is feminist, because that means that even though she may not represent it to the full, she supports and perpetuates the idea of it. No man should want to be in. Hey man, listen, bro, and those women make some of the best business partners in the world. I'm talking about, man, they could be some of the shrewdest business partners in the world. They are wonderful business partners. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, listen, they are wonderful personal training clients. Some of them are wonderful personal trainers. They are wonderful in the workplace. They are wonderful with their friends. I'm talking about in the constructs of a relationship. No real man should view a woman who represents feminism as a quality enough woman to be in a relationship with. She has qualities, but being in a relationship with you shouldn't be one of them. And that's just being real, man. Man, let me tell you something. Feminist women are some of the most connected women you'll ever meet. If you got anything you're trying to do business-wise, boy, feminist women are connected, well connected, because they want to be in the mix, rubbing elbows with the men, because they feel like they're equal to the men. And they want to be in the mix, rubbing elbows to show that they're equal to the men. See, I look for small things like this, man. Listen, I don't deal with the woman whose idea of dressing for a business meeting is putting on the damn pantsuit. That's what I put on when I dress for a business meeting. I put on a damn pantsuit. You know, a pantsuit is just a suit with pants. I still believe in a woman she might put on a business suit, but it's going to have a skirt with it. I don't want a woman who's got pantsuits in her closet. I'm talking about a full suit with the suit coat and the pants. That ain't my thing right there. That woman ain't quality for me in a relationship. You understand? Because it doesn't represent femininity. And you got to keep in mind, man, that one of the major things you got to look for in a woman, man, is that she represents femininity. Another thing is this, man. Her parents, and this is another thing that has never failed me. Her parents are still together. Now that's failed me. Just her parents being together, yeah, that's failed me before. I've met women whose parents were still together, man, and her mama ran the household. Her daddy was a beta male simp mangina. Her daddy was a chump. Shout out to BOA. Her daddy was a beta male simp mangina. If you haven't subscribed to Book of Alpha Running Man channel, man, go ahead over there and subscribe to BOA. I know most of you have, but that brother is icy. So, but if her parents are still together in a historically patriarchal marriage where her daddy runs things, if you meet a chick, man, who daddy got a business, man, that he been running for 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, and it's profitable, and you can see the fruits of his labor, man, let me tell you something. That's a situation, man, that you want to be in. Man, I've met chicks' dads, man, and the same way I was mean mugging, he was mean mugging. We ain't crack no smiles. We ain't do none of that. We sat up, chopped it up, and that was it. So, last thing, man, on this list is she has no hatred or ill feelings toward her ex. And I say her ex, not her exes, because 9 times out of 10, if a woman has been in a bad relationship and the relationship she's in after that heals her from the other relationship enough where she just pours all of that trouble and all of that sorrow into the new man in the new relationship, and he becomes her emotional sponge. So if you meet a woman who has ill feelings toward her ex, run fast. Ill feelings toward her ex are better than or worse than still loving her ex. Because ill feelings toward her ex put her in a bad mind state, put her in a distrusting mind state, put her in a mind state of constant animosity, constant emotional disarray. You see what I'm saying? And that wasn't the last thing. The last thing should have been the first thing. The most prominent, the most guaranteed, the most foolproof, fail-safe way of determining if a woman is a quality woman and worth your investment of time and energy is if she's a virgin. That's it. If she's a virgin, all these other things are trumped. All these other things are trumped. Because she is still open enough, clean enough, and clear enough to be controlled by your energy as long as you control your energy. You don't have to knock down any doors. You don't have to knock down any walls. She is primed for the taking. And that's the reality of what we're talking about. So these are my top 5 ways to know if she's a quality woman and worth your investment of time and energy. Number 1, she hasn't been in a serious relationship for at least a year. Number 2, she doesn't have any friends with benefits or men that she just had sex with. Number 3, she's the driver whenever her friends go out and drinking and will be involved. She's the designated driver. Number 4, she has a peaceful relationship with her child's father if she has a child. Number 5, she will not allow you to hit it raw, in the beginning for sure. Number 6, she doesn't have sex with you the first night, and even on the chance that she does, she feels like shit about it, and she may not even talk to you anymore after that. But she really fights not to anyway, even if she has to lie. Number 7, she doesn't want to lead you and is not willing to take care of you because that means leading you. So she expects you to be able to be out there getting to it. And that's a feminine thing. It's a feminine thing for a woman to expect you to be able to provide for her. And we'll talk about that at a later date. Number 8, her friends and family come to her for advice, motivation, or direction. Number 9, she still says yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, to her parents and grandparents if they're still around. Number 10, her parents are still together in a historically patriarchal marriage. Number 11, she has no hatred or ill feelings toward her ex. And number 12, she's a virgin. Hey, look, man, I appreciate y'all coming through the joint, man. It's been real in the field. Again, I appreciate the support here. Book of Alpha Running Me and Patreon. I'm no longer on Facebook. I'm no longer on Instagram. And for the foreseeable future, I don't see any reason why I would be. But either way, I appreciate the support anyway. So, homies, we're going to get ready to head on out the joint. I appreciate it. King Ray in this bitch.
Chuck Diesel.